They told you Ra and Atum were the same god, two names for one sun, two faces of the same creator. They told you there was no choice to make, that all light was pure, all beginnings were holy. But that was the first lie. For within the Egyptian pantheon, two suns burned, one radiant and life-giving, the other ancient and cold. Ra was the fire of order, blazing across the sky to preserve existence. Atum was the twilight before light, the primordial essence that existed before creation, before thought. And though priests spoke of unity, the ancients whispered a forbidden truth. The world is a battleground between two forms of creation, one born from clarity, the other from chaos. Ra gave us time, structure, destiny. Atum gave us self-awareness, freedom, and shadow. Every soul, son, whether it knows it or not, leans toward one, the flame that sustains, or the void that liberates. You must choose, for in that choice lies the healing, or the undoing of your soul. Before the first sunrise, when only stillness existed, Atum emerged from the dark waters of Nun, alone, unshaped, self-created. From him came the first divine pair, air and moisture, Shu and Tefnut, the first breath and the first tear. He was everything and nothing, both the seed and the silence. Then came Ra, not born of Atum, but awakened through him, a consciousness that sought to bring order to the shapeless. Where Atum's creation was instinct, Ra's was intention. He named, he divided, he ruled. The light of Ra revealed, but it also limited. For every line he drew, a shadow deepened, Atum's echo resisting definition. Priests later merged them to hide the truth. Ra and Atum were opposing forces disguised as one. One believed salvation came through discipline, cycles, and divine hierarchy. The other whispered that freedom could only be found in remembering the darkness from which you came. This was never about gods in the sky. It's about you. Every human being lives between Ra and Atum, between the need for meaning and the hunger for mystery. Ra rules the mind, clarity, structure, control. Atum rules the soul, the unseen, the wild, the unnameable. When your life feels too predictable, too ordered, it's Ra binding you. When you spiral into chaos, into endless self-reflection, it's Atum reclaiming you. The Egyptians weren't worshipping two suns, they were mapping the two halves of human consciousness. When Ra's cult grew powerful in Heliopolis, his priests rewrote the scriptures. They declared Ra supreme, the Mum, and erased the duality. Atum's temple was absorbed, his name bound into Ra's Ra-Atum. His mystery diluted, his autonomy destroyed. Why? Because Atum's truth was too dangerous. He taught that the divine spark lived in every soul, that one could create without permission, heal without priests, rise without ritual. The temples could not allow that. So they called his followers heretics, dreamers, mad ones. But the initiates of the old path, the hidden cults that survived in desert caves, preserved the secret. That Atum's darkness wasn't evil. It was the womb from which all gods were born. The same darkness you enter when you meditate, when you die, when you awaken. Ra's light can blind as easily as it can guide. And those who worship only the sun forget that shadow is sacred too. You've felt this battle before, not in temples, but within your own life. When you strive for perfection, obey every rule, and still feel hollow. That's Ra consuming you. When you question everything, destroy your patterns and face your own emptiness. That's Atum stirring. Ra is the voice that says, be productive, be certain, be in control. Atum is the whisper that says, be still. Unravel. Return to what you were before the noise. Both are sacred. One heals through clarity, so the other through chaos. But most people live enslaved to Ra, addicted to light, terrified of stillness. They build identities out of gold, and burn out chasing illumination. Yet deep down, their souls ache for the void, honor for Atum's mercy, the peace of surrender. Healing your soul doesn't mean choosing good over evil. It means remembering that even darkness serves the light, that you can descend and still be divine. Ra burns, Atum dissolves. Both can save or destroy, depending on which one you let rule you. The myth unfolds in the sacred city of Heliopolis. There on the Ben stone, the first mound to rise from the waters of Nun, Atum stood and called himself into being. He became the first god, creating through sheer will. But in time, a second force rose, Ra the Radiant. As the two powers intertwined, the priests forged a dangerous union. They carved hymns declaring Ra-Atum, the single sun, the unified creator. But in secret chambers, the initiates told another tale, that Ra and Atum were at odds, long before the world began. Ra represented the cosmic law, Mat, the order that sustains the universe. Atum represented the primal soul, the original chaos that refused confinement. The Osirian cults later mirrored this tension. Osiris the harmonizer, Set the destroyer, all echoes of the original split. The balance between Ra and Atum determined the health of both cosmos and consciousness. When the priests favored one side, when light became tyranny, droughts followed, stars dimmed, hearts turned to dust. Even the pharaoh's power depended on this equilibrium. He was said to rule not by decree, but by how perfectly he stood between Ra's fire and Atum's abyss. The temples called this the solar paradox, the realization that creation needs both illumination and shadow to endure. Modern seekers still face that paradox. The age of light, science, reason, logic, is Ra's domain. We build our worlds on clarity, data, progress. But we've forgotten Atum's half, the art of stillness, the mystery of not knowing, the sacred dark. That's why humanity is burning out. Too much sun, not enough night. Spiritual healing isn't found in endless positivity or love and light. It's found in remembering the first duality, that the soul blooms in darkness before it shines. To heal, you must let Atum dissolve the illusions Ra made, your ego, your perfection, your control. Only then can true light return. But when one side dominates, balance collapses. Ra's followers worshipped order until they became slaves to their own gods. Atum's followers sought freedom until they vanished into madness. The same pattern repeats today, society drowning in Ra's logic, individuals lost in Atum's void, humanity once whole, split again, and yet, within the silence between breaths, both still live. Ra, in your heartbeat, Atum, in your soul's depths. You were never meant to choose one. You were meant to remember both. Stand between the sun and the void. Let Ra guide your mind, but let Atum free your soul. The world doesn't need more light, it needs balance.